What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and it is good to be back on this channel putting out another video. The dogs are barking because I just got home, so yeah, they kind of go crazy. But anyway, I have been busy. If you guys watched my little short that I did and uploaded just a little while back, you guys know that I've been doing CDL school. So that's really where all my time has been going, is doing CDL school all day from 7 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the evening, and I've been just really focused on that and getting that taken care of and getting that done. And I haven't really had any time whatsoever to do anything with the truck. As far as the truck goes, it's the LS. The engine needs done, needs built, needs put in the truck, and that's obviously going to take a lot of time, which at the moment and for the foreseeable future, I'm just really not going to have too much of, especially trying to jump into another job, stuff like that. For those of you who don't know, don't follow me on Snapchat, I did quit my job at Keystone, and I think I may have posted that in a video, I don't remember, but if I didn't, I did quit that job and you know, went straight into doing CDL school. So, and as soon as we do get the CDLs and everything out of the way, I'm going to be jumping hopefully into a truck driving job, doing like an LTL freight type deal. It's not going to be anything over the road, but you know, I'm going to have the CDL. I'll be able to pretty much do whatever I need to do. Today is another Hummer video, and this video, as you can tell, it's raining, it's nasty, it's going to get down, freeze tonight, become icy on the roads, and snow for the next couple of days. So this video is probably going to span a few days. Today's Tuesday. So we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's supposed to snow, and by the weekend I might be able to finish this video. But if you guys remember, I will link it up here. I did do the rear shocks on the Hummer a little while back. It's made some noises, and I think the noises that it makes is related to the back door latch. I don't know how to fix it, I haven't really found anything to read up on it, but it does make some weird noises. But I replaced the rear shocks with Rough Country's new N3 shocks, and they're pretty decent. If you guys remember, I said I wanted to do Bilsteins because I've got the 5100s on my truck. I wanted to do them on the Hummer, but at that point in time, they're just crazy. They were like $3 something for a pair for the rear. So I opted for the $100 pair from Rough Country, and they've honestly been pretty good. Now, that being said, Rough Country does not make any shocks at all for the front of the Hummer. The front shocks are pretty different from a standard pickup. They've got two little forks on the bottom that go onto the lower control arm, and then kind of like the strut, little stick, you know, I guess not a stud on the top that goes and bolts up to the top. So it's quite different from the pickup. So Rough Country does not make any front shocks for the Hummer. I really would have liked to have a matching set, but that was not an option. So what we got delivered today is going to be a brand new set of Bilstein shocks. So we've got the Bilstein 5100s, just like what I've got on my truck. Here is the part number. I actually just got these off of Amazon with a one-day shipping, and I think they were like $94 a piece, a little over 100 after taxes. So I opted to go for these because, you know, for whatever reason, they're pretty cheap right now. I feel like they're a lot higher than that normally. And you know, Bilstein, I enjoy Bilsteins. Bilsteins have been great on my truck. I think they'll do very well on the Hummer as well. But anyway, the reason for this is the front end is making some strange noises. The shocks are factory GM shocks, and those are 12 years old, so probably about time to be replaced. Comes with new bushings, stuff like that. Of course, you got your Bilstein stickers. Don't know what happened to that one, but anyway. And like I said, I'm trying to do this one-handed, so we've got our Bilstein shock. So just like the ones on the truck, these are, you know, like aluminum, I'm not sure, I think aluminum or stainless steel, whatever they are made of, but really nice quality. Bilstein is always a nice quality shock, and this goes and mounts up top, that mounts up at the bottom, and so when you put it on the Hummer, honestly, you're not going to see too much of it. It shouldn't be too terribly hard to replace, but pretty short shock. Honestly surprised it didn't come collapsed, but that's what it is. So we're going to be putting these on here, Very popular upgrade for the Hummer H3. Like I said, I've got them on my truck, the 5100 series, and I can say that I highly recommend them. Ride quality is pretty good. I think it should be better when we get them put on the Hummer, just because the Hummer has a softer ride in general. So they'll be pretty good for that, this application. So Bilstein 5100s, extremely popular for the H3. You know, some people go with Fox. I was gonna do Fox, but they were 127 a piece, and I've never dealt with Fox, so didn't want to pay that much for them, to be honest, and especially when I can get Bilsteins for, you know, 94 bucks a piece. So let's do that as soon as this weather clears up, which could be a couple days, but for you guys, just a split second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been like a week since the last clip, and we are finally back. And as you can see, the weather is finally back to being nice. The snow and everything is pretty much gone. There's a few little spots here and there, but it's like 60 degrees today. Very windy. Evidently another storm is supposed to be rolling in, so I figured I'd take advantage of that and see if we can't get these shocks changed out. Now usually I'll do things in the garage because it's a nice level surface. I've got a mess in here that I don't feel like rearranging right now. So I think we're gonna try to do this outside. Now there's two things that I've been wanting, actually I guess three things I've been wanting to do with the Hummer. I've been wanting to raise the torsion bars and level it out, but in order to do that, I've got to get it in alignment, and that might happen this week, I don't know. So I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to get some LED taillights for it. We should have a grill guard, an OEM style grill guard coming up for the Hummer within the next week or two. I just ordered that last night. So we're gonna have the grill guard that's on the front, and what happens is it's pretty cool how they work. You attach it to the tow hook mounts. You'll be able to retain your tow hooks and keep your tow hooks, and it attaches there, and it just comes up, and you know what the Hummer grill guards look like. But that being said, let's go ahead and pop this front tire off and see if we can get through these shocks. Okay, we've got the tire off. You could kind of see my mud residue that's going to take forever for me to get off. But you know, more pressure washing, it'll come off. But anyway, we got our shock mounted down here to the lower control arm with one bolt, mounted up here underneath the splash shield with, looks like just a nut. So we got a nut and a bolt, so you take that nut off, this bushing comes off, and the shock looks like it releases, and you can pull it out the bottom. So it looks pretty simple. Let's just hope that these aren't seized on there too badly. It looks like you can get in here just with a wrench and probably just spin this off fairly easy. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, so our bottom bolt is going to be a 21 millimeter socket, and for the other side, I'll also use this 21 millimeter gear wrench. That way I've got something holding the other end while I use the impact to try to remove this lower nut. So this top one's a little bit tricky. I'm using a 5/8 inch wrench, and once you start spinning it and trying to get it off, the whole entire internal body is gonna move. I'll show you what I mean. So we've got the wrench, that's turning the entire shock. So we're gonna have to vice grip somewhere, possibly up on that stud, and get that nut spun off to where we could just take it off. All right, it is trying to get dark now, but we are done with both the shocks on the front of the Hummer. You guys saw me working on this side, and it is all finished up, put back together, and I'll show you the results on this side here. The Bilstein 5100 bump stop is still there on this side, but obviously it needs replaced. I did go through and pressure wash everything, get all the mud off, and as much as I possibly could. It's obviously going to take a little bit longer. So like I said in the beginning, for those of you guys who take your vehicles mudding, I feel bad for you because you've got mud everywhere. This was just a week of driving in a muddy training field for my CDL course, and there's just mud in places where mud shouldn't be. But I'm excited about the shocks. On this side, I had to cut the stud that holds that top nut. So that top nut that I was talking about and I was showing you guys, it was not moving. I could not get it to budge, and I just cut the stud off and used a socket and got that nut off that way. Kind of just twisted it and broke it off. A little bit of a pain, but I got the job done, and we got the new shock on. Passenger side, the nut was a little bit difficult. It took it a little while, but it did finally eventually come off, and that was super easy. So yeah, we're gonna get the tire put back on and everything, torqued down, and take it for a little test drive. What I'm really hoping for is not only, you know, a similar ride quality to the stock shocks, which I think we shouldn't have any issues with, but there was a noise up here, and I don't know where it was coming from, but it was kind of like a clunky type of noise, and I cannot replicate it at all. The tire rods, everything seems good. Ball joints seem like they're okay. Sway bar bushings seem pretty good. Everything's tight, so I don't know exactly what could be making that noise, unless it's maybe a CV axle or maybe part of the rack and pinion. I don't know. But I'm hoping that with the new shocks, maybe that might have went away. But anyway, here's the old factory shocks. This is the passenger side. I don't know. I mean, they're pretty easy to compress. I'm sure they're probably on their way out. But I'm not sure if this was making some kind of a noise. Maybe it was loose. Didn't seem loose when I took it off. But this one's the same way. Really easy to compress. And yeah, super easy job. It really, aside from cutting that stud off, it's an easy job to replace these shocks. So if you guys have a Hummer and you want to do it, but you're kind of concerned that it's going to be too hard of a job, it's really not. As long as you have some tools, a jack, some jack stands, and some time, it's really not too bad. So let's get this wheel put back on. All right, we're all put back together. Tools and everything are cleaned up. We're going to take it on a little drive to see if ride quality's improved, stuff like that. The alignment, it should not have messed with the alignment. At least I wouldn't think it would, but I guess you never know. It looked like it was pretty in line if you just looked at it from the front, but you know, that's not always the best way to judge it. So let's go take a look and see how she does. So just as I thought, the alignment doesn't seem like it's off at all. So far, seems like it's got a pretty decent quality, at least comparable to stock. I have not heard that noise I was talking about yet, so let's just cross our fingers that was the problem. Okay, turning down this road, we've got a little bit more bumps, but when I stop, you can tell it does a little bit more of a nosedive. So when we raise those torsion bars, it's definitely going to nosedive a little bit more, I'm afraid. But it's got a ton of travel, so here's a little patch in the road. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Definitely, see, when we bought this Hummer, one of my main, you know, likes about it was that it rode pretty smooth, and it stopped riding smooth and it started making that weird clunky noise in the front, which I didn't know if it was a shock or if it was a bushing or something else, but I think it was a shock. I haven't heard that noise yet. All right, so there's that. It is dark, as it usually is when I finish a project on a vehicle, but we got it done, and I'm very happy with the ride quality. Like I said, when we first bought this Hummer, we were impressed that it had such a smooth ride, because I thought it'd be a little bit rough like a Jeep. That ride kind of disappeared a little bit, but these new shocks brought it back and even made it a little bit better. One more thing I forgot to mention, if you could see that top bushing up there, so that upper bushing, when you tighten down the nut on the top of the shock, just tighten it down until it starts mushrooming that bushing. Once it starts mushrooming that bushing, you should be good to go as far as tightness. And of course, you'll probably want to check it, you know, here after, I'd say 100 miles, make sure everything's still tight like it's supposed to be and nothing got loose on you, since it is a moving part of the vehicle. That is it. That is the Bilstein 5100 series shock absorber installation on the front of the Hummer H3. There are several videos out on YouTube, kind of step-by-step how to do it. I went over the steps on how to do it, but I didn't exactly show everything. So if you want more of an instructional video like that, there's plenty more. Just search it, Hummer H3 front shocks on YouTube, and you'll come up with it. That's what I did to find it, but I wanted to make my own video kind of explaining more about the Bilstein 5100 series shock. That about wraps this video up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's been a minute since I posted a full video. I've got nothing going on the truck as of right now, so we're working on the Hummer. Plenty more things coming for it. Like I said, I want to get wheels and tires, stuff like that, and just kind of build this one up a little bit, because we don't like anything stock. You know, if you got something stock, even though it still looks good, then, you know, aftermarket custom is always the better way to go for those of us who enjoy our vehicles. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Feel free to go down below, click that thumbs up button for me. It helps out on the channel, especially since I've been really slow lately. Go down there, hit that subscribe if you want to see some more Hummer content or some more OBS truck content. Plenty of that coming your way here in the near future. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one.